Okay, the secret to instantaneously playing better guitar and being a better guitar player. Now we know the secret sauce, it's practice and time and hours and frustration, but there are some things that do hinder that, which is what I want to talk about today. So those things you can fix straight away that should make you practice better and in turn make you playing better as well. Number one, left hand positioning, yeah? Now, left hand positioning. What I would aim to do, especially for all you people who like to play melodies and chords and mix it up and play leads and shred and whatnot, make sure your thumb is on the back of the neck. I know this is silly, but pointing up towards the roof, you want to make sure we start from the ground up. Keep it roughly in line with that center line of the neck. This will change depending on where you are and varied on different strings you're playing, but roughly in line, middle finger pointing up. Now, more important, if you align, this is a good little drill, if you align all your 4 fingers on a single string, right? That's where your hand positioning should be. You shouldn't find your palm is touching that the wood of the guitar. I should be able to fit basically a finger length in between my palm and the underside of that guitar neck there. Now, if I keep this formation and move it around to different strings, different frets, just willy-nilly, at random, you can see they're all still staying on the same string wherever they want to go, right? This isn't happening, and I get this skew-if angle. If this is happening, it means that probably your thumb's not straight, even though sometimes it is. Your pinky side palm needs to come closer towards the guitar. See what happened to my pinky instantly? It went from being straight, like a really rigid board, to being bent, and now it's dexterous. I can move it around, I've got more control. So making sure your fingers aren't locked straight is really important as well. Obviously, if you're playing a bar chord, you want that locked straight. But just in general, if you're playing scales, you don't want to see this. Right? I haven't hit a wrong note then. You want to see this. Okay? So, inline fingers, making sure that you've got bent fingers so they're dexterous from that upper knuckle, pinky side palm close to the fretboard, and making sure you can move these fingers around in that formation. If you find that you're starting to go on a bit of a skew-if angle when you do that and they're not sitting on the same string, then you've got some left hand stuff you can work on. Okay, next point, that kind of segues me in here, yeah? Left hand as well, pressing way too hard. What that does naturally, seesaws or trampolines that finger off the fretboard, right? And naturally wants your fingers to go a bit straighter than what they should be because you're really putting in so much effort into that. What we want to try and do, this is a great practice tool. It was my old classical guitar teacher taught me this from memory, but I teach it to all my students. Play whatever, play a drill, play a scale, whatever you're doing, but try and play it without actually pressing the strings down. Just touch, ready? It'll sound weird. So you can still hear the notes are changing. Now, have a look at the movement. I'll play slower. Nice and relaxed. This time I'm just going to apply that a little bit more pressure. And it's not all from the fingers, it's from the thumb too. It's squeezing. And they should look relatively the same in terms of how much effort I'm putting into those fingers. Ready? Not playing. Playing. Not playing. Playing. Being able to go back and forth like that, really important tool. It will train you to keep your fingers close to the fretboard. Also trains your left hand muting for things like sweeping where you need to be taking a finger off the wood but not the string. Cool, let's move on. Next step. So that's the left hand. Big things with the left hand, that's all I really want to talk about. Of course there's drills and exercises and scales, but this video is not about that. It's just about identifying a few little issues and problems, yeah? Now, the right hand, right, is probably, and I always say this, not probably, it is. It's way more important than your left hand for, I'm going to say 99% of techniques, even things like legato, yeah? It mutes, yeah? It's the thing that's going to really be the crux of any issues and problems. And that can come down to both hands as well, if the right and left hand aren't in time with each other. But it's usually the right hand because people spend more time on the left hand. It's the one that plays the notes. So just naturally, you want to do more left hand exercises than you do right, yeah? Now, again, I'm not talking about exercise today, just a couple of things with picking, positioning, and placement and traction. So let's deal with this first. Now, you'll notice I'm sitting on my left leg. Classical background, feel comfy doing that, but this is a much better ergonomic way to sit too. One for your back, sure, I've got a little footstool down here. I don't think you can see that in the video. But also too, if I stand up and play guitar, right? My guitar is positioned like this. If I play on my right leg and now I stand up, what happens when I've got a strap on is it goes this way. So playing on your left leg actually puts you in a position that if you're going to stand up and play, much more similar than it is on your right. But for me personally, I'm hunching over if I'm on my right leg naturally and I get a sore back. So teaching all day doesn't help with that. Now, your right arm, yeah. One thing, obviously when you're picking, this isn't a picking video, you want to pick with your wrist and things like this. Just talking about the positioning of it, yeah. You want to imagine like if I was to just relax my arm, I'm going to punch myself in the leg. I don't want to be doing this and going straight down and missing it. Why? If I alternate pick up here, right, watch my wrist. If I don't move my elbow and arm at all, my positioning's really awkward now, and I'm almost like perpendicular or parallel to the string there, which is really weird. It's an odd positioning and I won't get strong articulation out of the picking. I want to make sure I'm still picking with my wrist, but as I move the strings, watch that right elbow, it's coming forwards. Right, I'm just palm muting, just messing around there. What you want to make sure is if you set yourself a target point, say just in front of my back pickup is where I'm going to start picking. I want to end just behind the neck pickup, right? So I'm moving that elbow forward as I'm picking through. Really important. Now, obviously when you're doing sweeps, same concept, but when you're playing scales, do the same thing. Come forward as you go down. Means your pick will be in the same position every single time, no matter what string you're playing on and what position you're in. Massive, massive important little thing there too. So yeah, that one's really crucial. And again, making sure you know where the movement's coming from. So I'm not using elbow movement to pick, that's all the wrist, yeah? But I am using elbow movement to position my pick along each individual string, whichever one I'm targeting at that time. So that mental separation too of just, okay, motion's coming from here, movement's coming from here is really, really important. That's a big one. That's really helped a lot of my students over the years as well. That coupled with pick slanting as well. I'm going to do a whole video on pick slanting one day down the track. Not going to cover it here, but that with pick slanting, people just go, holy shit, my playing's improved so much in 30 seconds just with that mental connection of looking at it and figuring out what's going on. So yeah, a couple of big points there. Left hand, right hand, actual sitting position as well. The other thing too about your posture that is really important is not letting the guitar slip away in front of you like this and being on this angle, because I mean what happens naturally is you've got to start dropping your shoulder and curling around to play. Just counterintuitive. Keep it pressed up against your chest, up against your body, because also too, things like bar chords, people don't realize that pressure, excuse me, more so on like steel string acoustics as well. I'm actually squeezing this into my body with my right forearm to help like keep that straight pressure. Because if I do this and no pressure, right, you can see the guitar's moving forward. And if I do this, the guitar's moving this way. I want to cancel that out with even pressure so that when I play bars, the guitar's not moving. So this right arm actually plays a huge role in the positioning and the stability of holding the guitar as well. Even when I'm playing scale runs and things like that, I'm not just leaving this hanging out, because my finger's going to press it and start moving it this way. So keep it locked, keep it close to your body, make sure you've got the points of connection, yeah? Like you've got your arm, your inner forearm, I've got my chest connected to it, I've got my leg connected to it, squeeze a little bit with the legs, having that stability is really important. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, a lot of those things happen naturally, but just being aware of it can make a huge difference. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, but if you follow these rules, you will no doubt 100% can guarantee instantly improve some of your aspects of your guitar playing, no matter what that is. You know, like I said, it's not a video about drills or scales or arpeggios or techniques. It's just a video about, okay, well, all these concepts you should be able to apply to everything you already do, and it should instantaneously make you feel a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, I swear there was something else I was going to talk about. It's going to come to me as soon as I press stop on this video, but I hope that helps. I hope you guys get a lot from this. Give us a comment down below. Let me know if you knew some of these stuff, if you didn't know any of these little concepts, and yeah, let me know if they help and if they help you progress. But thanks guys, have a good one. Cheers.